Hello friends, I'm just having a little play here on Sunday afternoon, and I just thought I would show you what I was doing. I'm making these little embellishments, and they're really quick and easy. It's a little bit of a process, so you might want to make a few at a time because you have to get out a few different things, but some of them I turned into like dangles. This is like a two-sided dangle. I have flowers. I have just different word labels. Here's a pray tag that says I love Jesus at the bottom. Some of them I put little gems on them or buttons. Here's a dangle on a lobster clip. It's double-sided. Here's a flower with a gem in the middle, different word labels. I used different background stamps and different top stamps, faith, hope, and love on that one. They're really lightweight. This one is like a double dangle, and that one is double-sided as well. Some of them are double-sided, some of them I just did one side because I'll glue them down. There's another flower, little butterfly. This is just one that says pray on it, with a leaf charm. I did some with book pages. I did some with, this one I used a darker cardstock, which I was not, you can't see the words very well, but I might use that for something else. So I just used a bunch of different scraps and some of my stamps and ink and embossing powder, and just made all these little things in just a short amount of time. So I'm going to show you how to do that next. So here's what I started with. I used my punches, and I just took some neutral colored cardstock, and it's just a fairly thin-ish, not super thin, weight of cardstock, and I used 3 layers. If you want, you can use more or less. And so all of these shapes, I just punched out 3 layers. And then what I do is take just some school glue, just some normal white glue, and I'm just putting it in a little palette here. I found this kind of glue works well. The glue stick didn't work very well because I did glue stick on the book pages, like I said, and those ones came apart when I heated them. So the glue stick did not like being dried out like that. So this is really easy to put on and makes a nice thin layer. And you want it like really edge to edge, because otherwise, you know, it kind of separates on the edges, which doesn't look good. And so I'm just doing 3 layers together like that. Super duper easy. So I'll just speed up the rest of them here. Okay, so I have all of my pieces together. And the next thing I do is I do a background stamp. So the ones I showed you at the beginning were mostly black on the background. I have these background stamps. They're from Local King Rubber Stamp, which I think is a local stamp place. She creates them. They're made in Canada. I think she's in Vancouver, British Columbia, or she was at the time. I used to go to scrapbook / sewing festival every year. I don't think they've done it for the last couple of years, but she always had displays there, and she would give these little package discounts, and I was always tempted to buy them, so I have a few of them. But these 4 are background stamps, and this is a script. This one is just some dots, splatters, and this is a music page, and this is just a cracked background, whatever. I think I'll use the music one this time. So I'll just that out. And I think I'm just going to use brown this time. So just kind of put your, I'll just put a page underneath here to do it a little easier. Just put all of your stamps or your die cuts together like that, and then you can just sort of stamp them all. They don't have to be you know, perfectly stamped. You want them kind of random. So just stamp them until you're happy with the background, like that. And then what I do next is take my, I showed these before, they're alphabet stamps from Contact USA, and they're really cool. They have little ridges, I guess, ridges and dips that you can put them together. They interlock together. So you can put together like God, for instance, and stamp it how many times you want. And it just has perfect spacing. It stays together. You can stack them vertically as well, like that, or horizontally, I guess. So I use these almost every day now. I just love doing these ones, so using these ones. So I'm just going to stamp God. I'm going to use black for this one. I'll just do it on this little circle here, like that. And I'm just going to speed up the rest of them here. Okay, so I've got them all stamped. Then the next thing I would do is ink the edges. And you really don't want to skip this step because it really does make them look vintagey, cool, whatever. So just ink all the edges. I'll speed this part up. All my edges are inked. So then the next step is to emboss them. So I have this Versamark. I've had this for many, many years and it still works well. It's just like a clear stamp pad. There's probably other versions of this as well. And I have clear embossing powder. And I've had this for ages as well. So I just put in one of my my shapes upside down and just kind of press it into, it's kind of like a glue-ish thing. I do about 3 at once because you want it to be fairly wet when you put the powder on. And then you shake the powder on, and you can just shake it on really heavy because we put it back into the bottle afterwards. So just do that and then tap off the excess. And then I'm just going to go next door to use my heat gun just to melt that embossing powder. I'm working in the attic space of my house, and it was built in the 1940s, and I don't have plugs with grounds everywhere. So I go next door to do that, so I'll be right back. Okay, I just went next door to my daughter's bedroom and hit them with the heat gun, and this is what they look like. So they now have a glossy finish on them. They almost, I don't know, look enamelish or something like that. And see what the inking the edges, it just really, really gives it a nice look. So, and that's really all there is to it. So you can glue these onto something else. Sometimes they'll warp a little bit, so you can put them under some heavy books for a couple hours if you want. Punch holes in them, make different dangles, whatever you want. And it's so cool to do this yourself because you can do your own words. You can pick whatever you want. I think as I was doing this, I'm going to do some with Bible verses because that's something that you probably can't buy, right? The Bible verses that you want, just the reference number. So that's what I have for you today. And Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.